right, video 2 in the series about me. So now we're going to talk a little bit about transitioning. I actually went from a period of time where when I was I was actually going from public school to a private school. And in between that time is where I learned a lot about myself. I was at a public school. I went homeschooled for 1 year. I'm not sure why my mom decided to do that with us, but she only took the boys and she decided all the boys would go to homeschool. Maybe she'll comment below to tell me why, because I don't know, Mom, why was that? I don't know. Maybe it was my idea. I don't even remember. But 1 year in the 7th grade, she decided to homeschool us. So went from 6th grade with all of my friends and stuff, and then homeschool with just me and my brothers, and then 7th grade, then 8th grade. Now, while we were homeschooled, I did really, really well. I was able to learn that if I did things at my own pace, I would always be ahead. Because I am not a procrastinator. I never have been. I like to get things done. That way they're done. The only way to finish something is to be done with it. So if I don't want to do it, then I just do it. You know, I know that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but it does at the same time. If you don't want to do something, then if you do it, you don't have to anymore. It's now done. So that was always my thought process, and it made it easier for me to get things done when it needed to be done. Whereas my brothers would be inside doing their work, I was always done and playing, and they wanted to play, but if they had just gotten their work done, they would have known. And they never really learned that. They might know it now, but they didn't learn it at that time. So I learned that a lot growing up, that if I worked at my own pace, I would always be ahead. So I tried to find areas in life where I could work at my own pace. And I remember when I came back to school, I wanted to be on the basketball team because my sisters played basketball, and I was not good. It was my first year trying to play, and I was bad. And so when I went back to public school, I saw everybody else, and they were all really, really good in comparison to me. And I would always get picked last on the team because I was just terrible at basketball. So eventually, after the 8th grade, I decided that I was going to be great at basketball. And again, my work ethic kicked in, and I spent 8 to 10 hours, no joke, 8 to 10 hours per day outside on the basketball court. You can ask my mom, you can ask anybody. And I did things where I would draw up people on a wall, and then I would practice my passing without looking. I would do that for hours. I would dribble for hours. I would walk for miles dribbling the basketball. I would take tens of thousands of shots. I would do everything I could. I would play one-on-one with myself and have to beat myself in order to stop playing, which makes no sense, but I did it. And I played for hours against myself, mad at myself for losing to myself because I always lost, which was frustrating, but that was the way my brain was forcing me to continue to play. It's true. Steven's looking at me like, what? Yeah, it's true. But anyways, I continued to do this for hours for the entire summer. So when the summer was over and I started school in the 9th grade, I remember I didn't even make it to the basketball season before I got picked up by, there was a private school that I found out about, and ended up going to the private school and had a scholarship to play at the private school. And I went from not being able to even make the team to now one of the stars of the private school. That was we had a really good team. And so that was another time where I just basically learned that my work ethic was everything. If I just pushed myself to the limit, then I would be able to make it. And I did make it, and that gave me even more drive to continue to do what I was doing whenever I wanted something. So by the time when I got to the private school, I still had that same work ethic, and I just kept pushing. And I remember one day I decided that I wanted to dunk, and I couldn't dunk at the time, of course, when I decided I wanted to. But I spent another couple of months, and when that couple of months was over, I was dunking I was doing windmills. If you don't know what that means, I was jumping out of the gym, and yeah, I mean, it just came down to whatever I wanted, I knew I could get because I continued the repetition. And every time I learned a little bit more about myself. If I just put my mind to it, I would be able to do it. And then I did it. So that's gonna be video 2. I appreciate you guys watching. Remember, shirts, book, Who Do You Work For? That is on Amazon Prime as well as Kindle Books. So check that out. Follow me on here, share the video, like, comment. I appreciate everybody's feedback. I appreciate everybody commenting. If you have any questions about this section of my life and what I went through, let me know in the comments and I will answer all questions. Also, remember to go to my website, Titus Walker Success, if you want to buy any gear. The MYOB gear is on there, so mind your own business, which is all about tending your own business as opposed to everybody else's. So I appreciate y'all watching. Let's build success together.